Yo, what's poppin', everybody? Battle rap opinions. In case you don't know, you can follow me at JLegend100 on Instagram and on Twitter. I prefer you subscribe right here. This is where all the content comes. Even though we be talking all kind of shit on the timeline on my social media, but like, you know, if we're talking battle rap, even though I talk about it on Twitter too, most of this is right here. So hit the alert bell. We're gonna talk about the chalked out battle from the King and the Dot joint, which was Shox vs Sensa. I believe it was from the Empire event. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, first off, salute to King Fly from King and the Dot. Something I've been working on and I want to bring to this channel is I want to bring some ciphers. Like, I know quite a few people who rap and stuff like that, and I always had love for people just spitting bars. I love music just like anybody else. Sometimes I just want to hear somebody spit bars. I think that's a big reason too why we all just love battle rap the way we do. So anyway, that's something I've been working on behind the scenes, and then I gave up on it only because I was kind of worried, honestly speaking, that like you guys wouldn't want to see any of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the more I think about it and the more it's something I want to do, the more I decided I'm gonna start putting that together and even more. Paulo, I'm gonna start recruitment. So if any of you guys in the New York, New Jersey area, and you're interested in spitting some bars, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really want mumble rappers involved with this. You know, that's cool from the music side, some people dig it, but that's not what I'm doing here. I want real bar spitters. You know, if you spit that street shit, if you spit that super lyrical shit, whatever it is, that's what I want. So my email address will be right there in the description. Send me an email. It's something I'm looking to put together in the next few weeks in terms of I'm putting a little something together. It's gonna be a few people, and then you know we'll be releasing the ciphers here on this channel. So again, if you're interested, or you know somebody interested, please hit me up or let them know where to hit me up. You can follow me and talk to me on social media about it, or you can just email me about it. I prefer you email me about this particular situation, all right? Anyway, let's get into it. Shox vs Sensa. This is Sensa's first battle back in a while. When it comes to the UK battle scene, I am not the most knowledgeable. I am aware of quite a few of their battle rappers, as well in the Australia area. If you've been following my recaps, I've recapped those battles before, and a big part of the reason why I don't recap more of their battles is because sometimes this is not the case in this battle, but sometimes the battles are way too jokey for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my opinion. But I have recapped a few battles from Australia, Code Red Battle League, some other from the UK. You know what I'm saying? So you know, you go check those out. Sensa hasn't battle rapped in a while, you know what I'm saying, and this is also why this made a big deal, and he was going against Shox The Rebel. I've only seen, prior to this battle, I've only seen one battle of Sensa, and I've seen one, maybe two of Shox before, prior to this battle here, them going against each other. So first round was on Sensa. Sensa chose to go first. You know, that's a pretty bold move when you haven't been on the scene in a while. If you know me, my opinions on first rounds and third rounds, it's all about applying that pressure and finishing well. You know what I'm saying? And the number one thing is, if you go first, you gotta apply crazy pressure to the guy, because he has to follow that up. You know, and if you go second, well, you got the home field advantage, not home field, but you got the better advantage going last in the whole entire battle. So you'll be the last thought on everybody's mind. But it's so important when you got to go first that you apply that pressure, you know. So first rounds, all three rounds are important. I'm not saying they aren't, but first and third, it's all about, you know, setting it off and then finishing, keeping your foot on somebody's neck. Sensa chose to go first. Out the gate, he had a James Bond scheme that was pretty dope. I like the way he put that together. I like the way he delivered it. He had a lot of energy and a lot of intensity in that first round, and I was happy. You know what I'm saying? I will say, like, that first 1 or 2 bars, he didn't really have a setup for it, so it kind of came off in the beginning weird to me, but it was dope. Oh, by the way, let me mention to everybody, I'm giving you this recap of 3 watches. It came out this morning. I watched it this morning. When I ate my breakfast, I watched it again at lunchtime, and then I literally watched it a few minutes ago before I came out to do this vlog. And the wind is blowing off this damn water over here. I really hope that that ain't fucking up the sound on this video, but it is what it is. So yeah, that James Bond scheme from Sensa was fire. Yo, that horsepower line, because he was talking about how Shox made comments to him about his weight. So he went and he got involved with boxing and this whole shit. You got to hear it for yourself. And then he went into this whole, he had this horsepower line. And he said, horsepower leaving you on the ground. If you don't get that, like he's pointing at Shox when he said leaving you on the ground. But horses, if you look under their feet, what is the shape of a horseshoe? Shit was crazy. Like, especially the way he presented it. He delivered it, man. I thought that was fire the way he did that. He went into this whole thing for the bulk of his round. It had to do with Shox the Rebel having a homeboy who was a rapist. Now, I'm not from that area. I don't know what the hell is going on, so I won't lie to you. If I had to go off Shox's reaction, if I have to go off what Sensa was saying, if I had to go off what the crowd was saying, there's some truth to this, some sort of validity to this. So I don't know. I'm uneducated on what the background is of what he's saying. So I am strictly. So I'm only giving you my opinion on this based off what happened in the battle. I don't have any proof for this, so on and so forth. But again, it came off like whatever he was talking about is the truth. He had a lot of hard-hitting lines when that. Like, basically, he's accusing Shox of being aware that dude was a rapist, allowing him not only around battle rap, but just allowing him, like, kind of covering up what dude was doing. We went to this whole thing talking about telling Shox, like, yo, what if that was your daughter? Like, what's up with all that? And then he accused the Shox of putting out some sort of apology. And I guess an apology said he was going to have the women in a separate area at the battles. Again, I'm unaware how true all of this is, but if I'm going off the reaction of both Shox and everybody else there's validity to this. This has some truth to this shit. So that's what I'm scoring this on. It was very intense, you know, and I like the energy that Sensa had and everything. Shox gets his chance to go within like 2 bars. He like kind of chokes up. It was like a quick, I don't know if we want to call this a stumble, because he didn't really stumble on anything. He just kind of like lost it for a blink of an eye, brought the shit back. He starts going. He had a Migos line that was crazy, and that GOAT trolling line. If you go watch the battle, you know what I'm talking about. In fact, the link will be right here in the description. That GOAT trolling line was fucking, it was simple but genius at the same time, if that makes any sense to you guys. I thought it was fire. But I have that first round going to Sensa, and I actually think it was clear. It was a very good round. For the record, this whole battle was very good. Again, this is off 3 watches, and I'm got to tell you, every time I watched this, I had Sensa taking this first round convincingly. Second round is on Sensa. Apparently, Shox had some sort of situation before where his house got flooded. So Shox, pretty much half his round was based on that situation. He went into shit saying that that Shox like had a GoFundMe that made like $4,000. On top of that, he had some sort of expensive car that he was selling, and so you have to watch the battle to get it. I'm not gonna sit here and give you all of this, and then there's no reason for you to watch the battle. He had a game angle, right, where he was pretty much, which was like pretty much the second half of his round. So he's getting at Shox for hustling and for rapping about the streets and about the street life. So what Sensa was doing was comparing it to to board games. Talking about how when he played board games with his kids, how it's this way. It's like a family environment, but a game to Shox family is about the street game. Again, I'm trying to tell you all of this without fucking up the battle. You're not going to watch it, you know what I'm saying? Or for you to feel like you watched it already. So that was the bulk of his round, was talking about the flood situation and then talking about the game situation. Now, I won't lie, the The game thing that he did, I thought was clever as well. I thought the way that he presented it and everything was cool. But then you gotta understand though, like he did a good mixture of jokes and bars. It was a very good mixture, all while going at him on with personals, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So Shox goes. That Post Malone line from Shox was fire. He had a line. I'm not gonna try to rap it out because I'm gonna butcher that whole shit. But he basically, Shox had a line talking about he says some shit. Your best friend becomes Ja Rule talking to 5-0 on record. Now you gotta hear the way he set it up and everything. And he was talking about the street shit. So he's basically, I guess, already knew Sensa was gonna talk about, you know, have that street angle to him. So it's almost like his bars was a little defensive on there, but it was clever as well the way he put it. But when he said that your best friend becomes Ja Rule talking to 5-0 on record, that shit hit home crazy for me. I've been snitched on, not by best friend, but I've been snitched on, and I know how the fuck that feels. So him saying that shit, man, I ain't gonna lie, I went crazy for that again. I watched it 3 times, and every time I watched it, that shit hit home and hit very hard for me. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was fire. He went into this thing, and please tell me if I interpret this correctly, where he basically was saying that he was the only white dude on his block and he used to get beat up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's rough. But the whole round, it was crazy how it happened, because it's almost like Sensa was attacking him for being in the streets, and Shox was kind of playing defense and kind of counter-punching, where he's sitting here explaining the street life to you. You know what I'm saying? The way it was done was just dope, and to me, it just brought the battle to another level. But in this round, I gave this round to Shox by a razor's edge. I thought his bars was a bit. It was more direct, straight to the point. He had a lot more street-like bars, which of course I identify with. But like I said, the half of Sensa's round was based on talking about a flood that happened in Sensa's house. And that was, it was based on a lot of jokes. Now, I'm not saying that's not taking nothing away from it, because it was dope. I'm just simply saying, for me, I thought Shox had the more direct and more aggressive and straightforward round. You know what I'm saying? And there wasn't that much play in his round. So I raised his edge that round to Shox. Third round, excuse me, third round, Sensa had a line, Illmatic cover line. Listen, that line, the way he presented that too, was so fucking fire. Simple, but fire. And that's what's crazy, because, like, not only keeping the intensity, not only having some sort of jokes, but having an all-around dope performance Sensa was having, it was like some of his lines were kind of simple, but the way he delivered it and everything was fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was a fire line. He started going at Shox, talking about that Shox had stolen bars before. Now, I ain't gonna lie, kind of the way that he said it, this was the first time throughout this battle where I didn't think he was presenting it right. And it kind of, especially the first one, like when he the way he delivered it just kind of was flat to me, Sensa, you know what I'm saying? But he was breaking down stolen bars. They started breaking down Shox style in general. So that's what his third round was about. Very solid third round, very good. So now it's on Shox, like, what are you going to do with this? Then Shox starts going and starts pointing out how Sensa has racist tendencies. And again, I don't want to really tell y'all what he was saying, because I want you to go and watch the battle yourself. But he pretty much was pointing out, like, racist tendencies from Sensa. You check that out. He had a kaleidoscope line that was crazy, and I thought it fell flat in the room. Not fell flat, I don't think the people caught it. I personally liked it, I caught it. Maybe it was all within how they was both rhyming and flowing. They were fucking rapping, which I appreciate, because sometimes in the UK it's almost like they're just talking rhyming words. It's more like a fucking it's more like a poetry shit, like a spoken word contest, than it is a battle rap. This wasn't that. They were rapping, they were flowing, There was intensity. There was everything. It was dope. So he had the kaleidoscope line. There was camera issues. The camera went out, and according to what they post on the video, they said the only thing that you missed was crowd reaction from from a different line, and then they say you missed 1 or 2 words. I don't know how true that is, but we gotta go with what they gave us, right? After that, Shox had a Forrest Gump line that I thought was dope too. It was fire. With that said, I gave that, again, all 3 rounds was full of intensity, dope rapping, bars, personals, jokes. The battle is more than worth watching over and over again. To me, has replay value. That Forrest Gump line, to me, set it over the edge, and therefore I edged the battle to Shox The Rebel. Again, this is off 3 watches. The first time I watched this battle, I actually had Sensa winning the battle. With that 3rd round. But then I watched it the next 2 times and I felt like Shox took the 3rd round. So for me, Apollo, for me, it was a dope overall battle. Go and watch it. The link is in the description. Check it out. Get in the comment section. Give me your opinion. Do not just tell me that I'm wrong or you disagree with me. Tell me why you disagree with me. Go check this out. I don't care where you're from. This is a dope battle all the way around. You know, when it comes to both these guys, watching that battle with both of them made me want to go watch their other battles again. And that's one thing I try to say in my blogs about battle rappers in general. Sometimes, you know, you can't just write for the guy in front of you. Sometimes you have to write to the point where every chance you're on the stage every chance in front of the camera is a chance for you to gain new, to bring your fan base up that much more higher. And with that said, this battle right here made me want to go watch these guys' older battles. I hope it does the same for you. Even if it doesn't, drop me a line, let me know why it didn't. If you are very familiar with both of these guys and there is a battle you suggest that I watch, feel free to let me know in the comment section. I'm going to go and check it out, no doubt. I like watching stuff like that, and I like people suggesting things in terms of, you know, battlers that I'm really not familiar with. Salute to King Flies, salute to King of the Dot in general, to Chalked Out, salute to Sensa and Shox for giving us a dope battle. Make sure you subscribe, hit the alert bell. Remember what I said, man. If anybody is in the New York or New Jersey area, or the surrounding area, even if you're willing to travel to New York, whatever the case, we will be putting together them ciphers. Just email me if you're interested. Again, subscribe, hit the alert bell. Look out for the Union episodes. We should have some new ones coming up soon. And salute to everybody. Thank you so much for rocking with me.